guys. Welcome back. This is By the Book, and we're your married relationship coaches. I'm Sant.
I'm Sal.
And we're talking about Married at First Sight, Season 15, Episode 10. Bihn and Morgan. Man, Morgan might be the most damaged human I've ever seen on Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
But we'll get into it in a minute. Let's try and summarize this and give our commentary as we go along.
Yes.
All right. So episode opens up and Morgan is talking to her friend Deborah, and she's telling her about why she's so upset with Bihn, right? So she's saying, he never stopped telling all my business to Justin, even though after that big fallout, I guess, he told her he would never do that again. So this is why she's upset.
Yeah.
And before I light into Morgan, as I'm going to do for the course of this video, I understand why that would be a bit upsetting. Yeah. For me, I don't understand the degree to her enraged state of mind. Yeah. It seems a little bit over the top. Mm-hmm. So, let us know if y'all agree with that point, at least to begin with. If you don't, I've got news for you, because I'm going to keep on talking about it.
You're not going to be the only one. I mean, Morgan is something else in this episode, and we have been talking a few episodes ago, a few videos ago, about how she just kind of needed to let things go. She never really did. Yeah,
no, she didn't. I mean, and she said as much prior that she had a hard time letting things go.
Yeah.
So what she said was that Alexis came to her woman to woman. I would spend some time talking about Alexis, but we don't have time for that in this video. I'm so annoyed at how messy Alexis is, but we'll get on that on their video. Yeah. All right. So Alexis basically tells Morgan that the things that Bihn are saying about you, it's not the person that you really are. I think you're a good person, and I just don't think it's right.
A person who is already having problems in their own marriage puts their big fat nose in somebody else's, stirs the pot, and then watches it boil over, because that's exactly what she did.
Like, what was the end game there? What was the goal? We talking about Alexis again? We ain't even gonna get on.
Misery loves company. That's all I'm saying. Okay, sorry.
So Morgan says to her friend, like, I took note of this. I don't know if you did, but she's like, yeah, he kind of ran after me. Yeah. And there was something in her tone that shifted for just that moment, where you could tell that's what she wanted. Like, she wanted to be chased. She wanted him, I guess, either to be so sorry, or she just wanted to feel that want so much that did something for her. But he didn't chase after her enough, I guess. No. So it didn't change. It didn't change the way she ultimately felt.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You saw something I didn't. I didn't see a shift in anything from her tone.
For a second.
Maybe that's why I missed it, because I definitely did not see it.
Yeah. So I guess she left. I don't know where she was driving to, but she was driving to work, she was going to work. Back home.
To work. She was leaving the home, going to work.
Okay, so that's interesting. I thought she was coming back home. But anyway, she gets a text from Alexis. Yes. So some time has passed in between this argument. Yeah. She gets a text from Alexis saying, Bihn is here right now. Messy again. Yeah. So Bihn said, I guess Bihn FaceTimes her, or she FaceTimes him. Yes. They get on FaceTime. Alexis is like, hey girl, I'm here. And Morgan is asking Bihn essentially, why are you there? Yeah. And he's like, look, you said Alexis said something. I went to the source.
Well,
I wanted to know.
She wouldn't talk to him.
Yeah,
she dropped the bomb, left the apartment, left him to stew. And so what is he going to do? He's going to chase down whatever lead that she left him by, was really small, was that Alexis told me. And so that's why he went straight to Alexis, because that's the information that she gave him.
So Alexis says, look, I told him that he needs to be saying these things to you. Talk to your wife about it.
Alexis. You should have been talking to your husband instead of talking to somebody else's wife. That's what you should have been doing. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So that's the backstory that we get that she's telling her friend.
Yeah.
This is why she's so upset. And her friend is like, I feel bad because I know you really wanted this, and et cetera, but I see you're closing the door.
Yeah.
And she didn't deny that. No. You know, it's just kind of like, yeah. So that part closed off like that. The next thing you know, all the couples are talking about, this is their 1 month anniversary. Yes. Everybody's in bed, including Morgan, except Morgan is by herself. And she's just moping, like, oh, it doesn't feel like a 1 month anniversary. And yeah. I'm not in a good place. You know, all these things. So she's very negative. I get it. You fell out with your husband. You're not happy. You wish you were in a place that you are not.
Yes.
But what are you going to do about it? Like, she doesn't have any desire, I guess, to move forward in this in any kind of a positive way. No, she didn't indicate that she did. And even when she was laying in bed, that's when my heart can really try to go out to her, because she did give some signs of being in a mild depression. But it's a mild depression that's kind of self-inflicted. So yeah. So then I guess we flip to a scene where she's kickboxing, still moping, still saying, I'm not in a good place. This is anniversary day. Yeah. And we haven't even seen Bihn. No. Right? So that was wild to me too, because in the next scene, you see Bihn and he's kind of like excited. He's positive. Yeah. He seems like he got set up for failure. Like somebody told him Morgan's not as mad as what she was before. Maybe. Because, I mean, he's smiling. He's like, I don't know. She may still be a little bit mad. No, man. Like, he's just not a little bit mad. Like, a whole lot. This is going straight down the toilet. Yeah. So he seems wholly unprepared for what's about to happen. Yes, it seemed like he would have been a little bit more prepared. Right, based upon everything else that happened, the way she said it. Yes, and she also indicated that she was away from the home for 2 days. Okay. Yeah, so he really should have been on his guard of what in the world is about to happen when we do this thing. Yeah. Yeah, but maybe he felt like the sentiment of being in the same place, because he did talk about that. Yeah. He said, we're going to be at the same place where we got married, and then we're going to go to the same hotel room that we went to after the wedding. Yeah. So maybe he just felt like that was going to bring back so much positive for her that she would want to be positive in that moment. Yeah. She didn't. No. She was... Not at all. She met up with him. She was fuming. And of course, everybody saw the preview scene, which now we saw in this episode, where she just allows the flowers to drop to the ground that Ben was trying to give her. I saw her throw them on the ground. She did not throw those flowers. She didn't even touch them, but she was like... She had her hand on her. He was just like, be careful, there's thorns. And she took it and she like, whap! She threw them on the ground. What did y'all see? She just let them fall on the ground. Threw them. She threw that man's flowers. And you know what? Here's a guy who don't like to spend a dime. He done spent money on roses for this lady, and she throws them on the ground. I mean, that don't move me. So what? He should be able to buy a dozen roses. But that's not the point. She let them fall on the ground. Okay. If she was really wanting to throw them, she would have smacked them with the thorny roses. She could have done that. She could have done that. That was on camera. She would have went to jail on that. She would have went to jail? That's assault. First of all, it would have been a battery. But no, she wasn't going to go to jail for that. Oh, battery. Anyway. All this jail time. Anyway, go ahead. So she drops the flowers. She says to him, look, I thought that you were going to be the type of person who would stand up for me, you would have my back no matter what. You would be there for me. You would be my husband. You're not being that. You're not even being a friend. You know, she really starts lighting into him. She said, my vows, these vows, the vows I said were not for you. Yeah. Which at that point, I'm thinking she's going to call it like Chris called it from last season. Like, it's over. Yeah. We're not going any further. Yeah. She doesn't do that. She's like, I'm going to give you a chance to own up to everything. Something to that effect, right? And he's like, about what? So he's still a little lost. And so she did tell him what she was talking about. You've been talking SHIT about me behind my back to Justin. Yeah. And he's like, we dealt with that. Like, I told you about the whole nursing thing. That's already dealt with. She's like, you said so much more to him than that. So the thing that annoyed me, I guess, and we were talking about this before, is that she said he was lying about her behind her back. So like last week, I'm doing all this speculation, like what could he have possibly lied about? Yeah. I'm not fully team Bihn, because I'm like, well, you shouldn't be lying. I haven't heard a lie yet. The only lie that she's really accusing him of is saying that he wouldn't talk to other people about the marriage. Yeah. But here's the problem too. On this show, they almost require you to talk to other people about your marriage. And the other couples, no less. So while I do kind of understand that in a normal marriage situation, I may not want you to go out to like mutual friends or just your own friends and talk about our marriage, but this is something that is encouraged, if not required, with the show. So it's kind of unreasonable for her to expect him not to like say something to somebody. Exactly. I think. Now, Justin, poor choice, because Justin is like a woman, you know, or like a stereotypical woman. Like he's going to go and run his mouth. He's going to go put you on speakerphone while big mouth Alexis can hear. Like, what is he doing? Now, I do find that couples are messy like that sometimes when they do have their own problems and they feel like they can bond based upon somebody else's problems. And it seems like that's probably what he was doing. Yeah. Petty number 1 and petty number 2. That's him and Alexis.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. There was a whole lot that went down. First of all, she ambushed that man.
She did, so much so that the man was foaming at the mouth. I was like, what is this white
stuff? She planned this thing. She carried it out. It was premeditated, y'all. She set this whole thing up with this man thinking that they're about to rekindle some what they had for the first couple of weeks or whatever, and she basically pulled that rug right from underneath him and let him fall right on his face. And so here she is going in on him, calling him a liar, calling him all of this and the third, and she basically says to him that, hey, I'm gonna give you a chance. And to tell the truth. And as soon as you lie, then I'm walking off. You know, so basically he had to say exactly what she wanted him to say. Yeah. And how she wanted him to say it. And so I'm listening to this thing and I'm just like, what planet am I on right now? Because I couldn't believe just how audacious she was with this thing.
Well, she was, but I'm going to say this. Yeah. It has to be up to Bihn to stand up for himself in that moment. True. Like, he just caved. He's like, okay, I'll own up to everything. Yeah. Okay, he did not speak up for himself at all. No. And every time he tried to give an explanation, she'll stop him, and then eventually he would stop himself. That's fine.
I don't even want to defend myself.
If that's the case, then you walk away, because you have to be allowed to tell your truth. Yeah. When you're having a conversation with somebody. Yeah. You can't let somebody say, you're wrong. There's no defense for this. And you say, well, actually, and they'd be like, shut up. You can't say, like, it doesn't work like that. You get to speak up. He's an adult. He needs to be able to speak up for himself. True. And it's just not fair. I mean, on her part, what she's giving to him, but it's also not a sound choice for him to just retreat. True. And give in to her entirely.
True. I definitely agree with you. But you know what? The only new thing that I heard her say was that you were talking crap about me and my family, saying that your family, you can't
I was mad that your family is perfect.
That's the only new thing that I heard. Did y'all hear any new thing? Did you hear any new thing?
That's all I heard, but she alluded to the fact that there was so much more. I don't know about that. Yeah. Because the things that she said are the things that's the only things that we can go off of. Yeah. Right? So, yes, it is kind of offensive to say, oh, she's mad that my family is perfect. I wouldn't be surprised if that was Justin's summary of it and he just like conceded to it. For instance, if Justin was like, oh, I get it. Her family kind of fell apart and she's kind of jealous or envious that your family is more perfect. It's, kind of like the ideal family. And he's like, yeah, exactly that. You don't know until you find out the facts facts, Morgan, and that's why it's so frustrating to just go off of Alexis. Yeah. If she was really the woman that she needs to be, she should check Alexis for being in her business.
Yes.
I'm just saying, but she's only 27.
Yes.
She maybe have not lived enough years to do that. But you need to check another woman when they're getting too much into your business, too much into your marriage.
Yeah.
This is not your lifelong friend. This is not your high school best buddy that you've grown up with and known for, 10, 20 years, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not that.
No.
Alexis is being messy. Call her on that. Mm-hmm. But she can't do that.
Yeah. Because
she has rage, and it's rage directed toward men.
Towards men, but Ben more specifically, because she felt that he betrayed and hurt her.
He did. I get it. She felt hurt. I shouldn't say what should be big and what should be little. Yes. But it doesn't seem like it should have been that big of a hurt, at least the initial thing that happened.
And that's exactly my point, because as I'm watching this unfold throughout the weeks, and she couldn't get past it, one of the things that you and I both kept saying is the punishment is not fitting for the offense. It's just
the
not.
punishment isn't for Ben. The punishment is for her dad.
Say that. Come on. Why is this for her dad?
It is. It's for her dad. And it's because she had to cut, according to her, she had to cut her dad out of her life.
Okay.
He never approved. Now, the things that she's asking of Ben is for him to be like this undying, absolutely committed supporter of her. You've got my back. You're going to look out for me. And I'm not saying these aren't qualities that a husband should have.
Yeah.
But she wants him to have this so much so to a fault, to his own detriment. So much so that he can't even speak up in his own behalf.
Yeah.
She wants him to be all for Morgan. Who is all for their child? For their daughter, their dad is.
Yeah.
If anybody in your life, if any man in your life is going to be like that, first and foremost, as an example, is going to be your dad. She didn't get that. Mm-hmm. So with her having missed that big chunk of what she thinks she should have, either a man is going to give that to her exactly, or he's going to pay. Why? Because she couldn't punish her dad.
True.
She couldn't make him do it. The only thing she could do was cut him out of her life. Mm-hmm. But a man who's interested in her, well, she can punish him because he wants to stick around.
Yeah.
And so Ben has become the whipping boy in this situation, and he's willing to take it.
Yeah.
But she's going to damage him. She's damaged, and she's spreading it all the way around.
Yeah.
So that's a dangerous place to be.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, because I felt as I was watching it, she didn't cuss at him or anything like that. Uh-huh. She didn't call him out of his name per se. Mm-hmm. But it felt like borderline verbal abuse to me. It just felt like it. Did that kind of stir anything with you? How she approached him, the things that she said, her demeanor, her tone, any of it. She wouldn't. And the reason why I say this before you answer is because she would ask him a question and then she would answer it. Mm-hmm. She wouldn't let him talk, and then she would go, "You're not listening to me." Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, what about this being? He'd get ready to say something. She'd cut him off and get ready to walk away, or whatever the case may be. It just it felt like verbal abuse or mental abuse to me.
It could be. I feel like though, as being another adult in that situation, you have to kind of regulate that situation for yourself too. If someone's going to argue with you in an unfair manner, it's going to always be okay for you to excuse yourself for that situation and be like, it's not me who's not listening, it's actually you. I can't get a word in edgewise, and we can't have a conversation. All you want to do is talk at me.
Yes.
So abusive, I don't know. I think that may be extreme.
A little bit.
But it's not effective.
Yeah.
I can say that. I mean, you're not trying to solve anything.
Yeah.
And at the point at which you get to where you're not really trying to solve anything, you're just trying to make me feel worse.
Yes.
What are we having this conversation
exactly
for?
and that was my next thing I wanted to ask you about, because the whole thing, the way it went down, it couldn't have been more counterproductive to actually trying to come to a solution in a marriage.
No, I don't think she cares about the marriage, but she just scored some points against her dad.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Still
she just scored some points. I was able to jab back at him.
Okay.
In a roundabout fashion, in my opinion. I mean, you guys let me know what you think.
Yeah.
But just in my dealings with psychological issues and people, that's what I see in her. I said it last week. She's not healed.
Yeah.
Not only is she not healed, but she's so hurt and so raw, unhealed.
You can see that
she's just venomous.
Yeah.
To men around her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, everything. Everything. You know what? I have to agree with you because everything that she's exhibiting right now, again, for what Bihn has done, talking to Justin, it's to me, it just didn't warrant all of that.
Yeah.
It just didn't. And hey, I try to validate people and how they feel quite often, even when I don't really agree with it. But this one, no, I just can't see it.
No.
I just can't. You know what? I won't say it's ridiculous again because that's how she feels. But the offense, the punishment does not justify it.
And this is how you know. I won't belabor this too much.
Yeah.
And I'm going to misquote it a little bit, I know, but how I knew when I felt the true venom come from her is when she sat down at that table and she said to him, it would be easy for me to walk away at this point. Yeah. But I'm not. Now this is where I'm gonna start misquoting it because I didn't write it down. But essentially, she said, "I'm not gonna walk away. We're gonna continue through this process, and you're gonna be there, and you're gonna look at me in my face and know how much you hurt me, Dad." Yeah. That's what she's telling him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. She cannot do that to her dad, and I just can't stress enough. I feel like that is just a direct reflection of that relationship and the way that it went for her.
I feel you on that. You know, I'm going to continue to punish you every day. Mm-hmm. You know, until this whole 8 weeks thing is over with, I'm going to punish you. And I kind of heard that as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that to me just was the nail on the coffin. Yeah. Not in terms of their relationship. I think their relationship's been cooked. Yeah. But that was a nail in the coffin in terms of okay, is this woman even remotely healed? No. Absolutely not. No. It tells me right there she's not ready for a marriage. She's not ready for a boyfriend. No. She needs counseling. If she's not, I don't get the sense that she's in any kind of counseling. No. I feel like her physical activity she uses as an outlet, but it's not enough. She probably needs counseling, and she might actually need to open that door again to her dad so she can resolve some of those issues.
Something has to take place, and as that old adage goes, hurting people hurt people. Yeah, that sums up Morgan very well. And that whole thing, like what you just said, and when she kind of cut him off with the but, you know, just to make him look as small as he possibly could. Yeah. Morgan, I don't know what to say on the other side.
It's sad. Like on the one hand, you can feel so sad for Bihn. Yeah. And so you kind of want to hate Morgan. Yeah. But you also feel so much pain coming from her. Yes. That you wish you wouldn't take it out on Bihn, but you know it's really coming from a place of extreme hurt. Yes. For her. Mm-hmm. So I feel bad all the way around. Yeah. I did too. I mean, watching it was really hard to watch. Yeah, it really was. And you know, where do they go from here? Absolutely nowhere. No, I don't see any. No, she mentioned the experts helping them talk about it.
She didn't mean it.
I know. And poor Bihn. If I were him, I would just walk away at this point and be like, okay, let's just call it a loss.
I would too. I would not, unless she saw some kind of. She displayed some type of self-awareness.
She can't.
Knowing that, hey, you know what? I was out of line with this guy.
I just don't think she's ready for that.
She's not
at this stage.
She's not. But if she displayed that or said that and then said, you know what? I'm going to get my butt in counseling. Then I would say, all right, you know, Bihn, you
that ain't happening in these next 5
But it's not. It is definitely not going to happen.
She does. I mean, eventually, you know, maybe before she reaches the age of 30, she starts to adjust these things. Yes. I don't see it happening anytime soon. Guys, let us know what you think about this couple. I mean, I feel bad for them. I even was joking saying who's more toxic, her or Alyssa from last season. If you want to chime in on that, please do. I've actually gotten more people responding saying Alyssa was more toxic than Morgan. Yeah. And I don't know, because at least Alyssa just shut it down. Yeah. You know, this woman wants to punish. Yes. She's going to punish. She means absolute malice. Yes.
That's the word that sums it up. Malice. Yes. Exactly. Yes.
So anyhow, guys, like I said, let us know what you think. Please comment in the comment section. We want to engage in this conversation. Yes. Share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.